You just go safe lane, deny every range creep, and then it's less... it doesn't dominate the lane the way a Lich does, but come mid-game, you've got this crazy ultimate where even if you were just black holing one core, like Jenkins mentioned, that's great, that's worth it. Yep. I like what MSS was doing on his Earth Spirit. He was actually trying to stay in range of Jubei's range creep denies to make sure they get some of the XP. And also pulling waves from behind the tower. They're going to lose a courier down bottom. Bit of miss micro. Not the end of the world. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Most noticeably, this mid lane is currently being crushed by Quinn so far. Puck does secure a last hit using the Waning Rift to get a range creep, but yeah, Quinn is dominating. 8 and 3, including at least one range creep deny.
So
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, Medusa is having this Witch Doctor do a really good job zoning as well. Zero is just not having the easiest of times because of the Maledict potential. And you've got a Mirana. Mirana just doesn't really crush lanes. It's kind of a greedier 4 position. That's why people like picking it in pubs. Totally fine to pick this here in pubs. It is a very good 4 position, but it is on the greedy side. Yeah.
For the hunt.
Oh, yeah. I love playing 4 position Mirana. I just see people complain about it all the time, but you know, as long as you're having a positive impact on the game, which, you know, so far Flea's, you know, you're giving your offlaner solo XP. That's always nice in itself. Mirana's one of those heroes that can kind of chill in the jungle, play away from the lane. Even if you're sniping range creeps, you can give the solo XP to your offlaner, but I feel like Zero is probably feeling like, man, I wish I had an offlane, a 4 position who could bully this Witch Doctor back. So he's having a bit of a rough time because of the Mirana. Yeah. Yep. Taking another look at this mid lane. Looks like Puck has somewhat stabilized the lane, picked up a bottle now, so we'll see that 4-minute rune RNG come into play a little bit. I think if either mid laner wants to get a rune, they basically have to gamble and guess where it's going to spawn. Otherwise, supports are going to be there to pick it up, so we'll see if either of those 2 mid laners gets lucky. Yep. He gets it. It's generally what happens is that both teams send one support to secure one of the runes. So Flea secured top, meanwhile MSS secured bottom, and then it just comes a coin toss as to whether or not it spawns there. So nice little edge going Puck's way considering he was slightly behind in this mid lane. But these side lanes, Quincy crew is doing very well in. Medusa is free farming and getting a ton of denies. And despite the range creeps denies down bottom, Leslau is level 4 and winning the CS battle against Jug slightly.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yep. Yeah, and once he hits level 6, that's when you can see Prophet threaten kills in these side lanes. It's really hard for the support. It's really hard for anyone to play in the lane except maybe the Puck when there's that threat of a Wrath of Nature coming in.
So
yep. Yeah.
Last of our kind.
And this is, you know, something, one of the things I was curious about is what is the build on a 5-position Enigma? It goes for the second point in Malefice at level 3 for that extra bit of stun and control. It synergizes so well with the Blade Fury, and it allows him to get these kills.
Dire's turret has been
Yeah.
Nice support rotation. Curious to see if either of these mid laners starts rotating soon. They both hit level 6 now. And securing the runes, it looks like Leslie is going to look to set up this bottom rune, but Jubei going in for the deny may pay the price. But you know, in some ways, him dying to stop Quinn getting a haste rune might be worth it. He may not even die here. With backup coming, Flea as well as Ryoya there to keep Jubei alive. And they've got a coil. Nice tree and micro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
The
shall
raindrop combined with the great tree and micro from Lelis. He was just placing them right in front of the Mirana. Saving Quinn's life. Really heads up play. Just the Enigma
Radiant's
dying in
top
the
tower
end,
is
so
under attack.
not a huge win by either side, but definitely a scenario where if Quinn dies there, things are looking really good for black and yellow. Yeah, YamSun just wanting to pick up his Ring of Health from that shop. Would like to see him, you know, grab that magic stick, bring it out. I feel like that's a very just strong laning item, but back at top, LOA's found 0 with the Maledict. It's just a level 2 Maledict, but holding the cast to stop a TP out. It looks like they're gonna get another kill on 0 here. He doesn't have a TP. Oh, he's gonna live for now. He can Quelling Blade his way through. I'm not sure if they're gonna chase it. I think they just assume he TP'd out, but he will TP soon, and even so, YawaR still free farming away. So unlike last game where his PA was getting pressured, this time around his game is looking pretty free.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think it's a hero that's going to look pretty good against the Medusa in the mid lane. Medusa just not a mobile hero, so she's going to be just stuck in a bit of Malice, plus the Atrophy Aura, which is going to just reduce a lot of her damage output, since it is percentage based. So I like the idea of picking this against Medusa, as long as the lane can go okay, which is where things are not looking too great for 0 so
middle
far.
tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Okay. It's got no mana. Yeah.
We will learn this defeat from my perspective.
Yeah, I like the idea of rotating Jug for that aggressive play, but he didn't have much mana. His Omni Slash was also just on cooldown. I don't know when and where he used it. I guess maybe he missed a kill on Lelis or something. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. And without the Omni Slash, it's a very dangerous play to make, and now we're going to see Puck. Ryoya gets sniped. Quinn finds him.
This does not please me, youngling.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It feels like black and yellow is starting to get pressured now. Quinn with a Fairy's Trinket, a fantastic item to have on any spirit hero. He's going to be able to make a lot of plays around the map, it feels like.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. The prize is mine.
0 could be in some trouble. Dodges the Death Ward, and oh, what a play from SVG. Is he gonna get... He almost got both. That was mighty close. Nature's Prophet throws out the ultimate. I think just not catching Flea, or that may have been another kill. That was a sick arrow dodge into Death Ward.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're hoping to pressure this tower, but Jubei able to convert the siege wagon. That's another really underrated aspect of this 5-position Enigma, just being able to insta-kill siege wagon. Mid lane, they're going in on LOA.
There's no great.
Bones will tell. Someone called the doctor?
Yeah. Absolutely. You take that trade. That's a 5-position for the enemy mid laner. Just making sure he timed the Maledict so that it didn't get dodged. And bottom lane, they're looking for a response here. Lelis in some trouble with the Malefice catching him. Ooh, good trio micro.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
See the forest. Void takes me.
Dire's
Yeah,
top
absolutely
tower
worth
is
it,
under
but
attack.
still, you know, I'm sure Lelis is saying, you know, just by the fact he microed his treants to tank the Omni Slash, he forced a black hole, so
It fills me with
some, you know,
nothingness.
bit of good for, I'd say it's a bit of a small win for both teams in some ways. I think the good thing Black and Yellow is doing is fighting around their Jug. Jug is just a much stronger hero, even without any items, than the Underlord is. Underlord's job is just to sit top, get levels, get farm, and we're not going to see Zero look to rotate, so if they want to fight, they need to do so using YamSun whenever he has Omni Slash up.
New treasures.
Yeah. The problem is you don't want to involve him too much, or we're going to see this farm discrepancy between Deuce and Jug continue to get bigger and bigger. It's already 2,000 gold between the two carries. Considering we're this early on, that is definitely a little bit concerning. Yeah. Quincy. Just a sentry being planted, so Flea not going to find any kind of a
Radiant's
D-ward.
middle
And
tower is under attack.
mid-tier 1 tower in a lot of trouble here. They're going to have to
Radiant
TP in the
structures
Underlord to
are
try and defend this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, they're going to Moonlight Shadow and try fight this.
Dire's top tower
They don't
is
have
falling.
Black Hole, they don't have Omni Slash, so this is not an easy defense, but Quincy, respecting the Moonlight Shadow coming out, will back off for now. Yeah, I think, you know, Quincy Crew are getting slightly more out of this, but, you know, it's staying around a 1 to 2k gold lead. YamSun's making the right call to just get some alone time to go farming, get his Battle Fury up. I think at some point, Black and Yellow's made the call, okay, we didn't crush the early to mid game. We need our Jug to keep up with Medusa as well as possible. So Black and Yellow are playing less aggressive because they recognize that they haven't done a good job of ruining this Medusa's game.
Radiant are scanning.
Yep.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's where that smoke move from Quincy, as soon as Quincy smoked to that the Radiant Triangle, they immediately dropped sentries, expecting there to be wards on the Ancient, but wards being used elsewhere. Quincy not wanting them to get dewarded, and like you mentioned, when Jug gets Battle Fury, that's going to be a big boost to YamSun's farm and not catch up to the Medusa, but at least kind of keep him close. If Quincy somehow invade and take these Ancients, that's going to be an absolute disaster, though.
Silence.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dodges it.
Radiant's
Yep,
top tower
nice
is
coil
under
dodge.
attack.
Still, I like the move from Black and Yellow. They're just making sure they do everything they can to protect this top side of the map, protect their Ancients. Even with Juggernaut there, they just know that Quincy probably wants to come in and get some vision down, see what's going on. and they're doing everything they can to defend it. Jumping mid.
I can go anywhere, yet
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, that's definitely worrying. I don't know how aware Quincy are of what's been going on with all the stacks. They haven't really scouted it for some time. I think when they did their smoke invasion, there was only maybe a double stack at most, but
Dire's top tower is under
Black and
attack.
Yellow are just gonna have to 5-man these Ancients, and yet LOA comes in, scouts it out, puts down the Observer Ward. It's in a sneaky spot here. They're gonna need some high ground vision, either with a courier or an arrow. It looks like the courier's coming out to make sure they deward it.
Dire's bottom tower
I
is under attack.
expect all 10 heroes to come play around these Ancients for if Quincy crew want to contest this, but it looks like YamSun's going to get in there before Quincy can make a move.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. And it's kind of like you'd rather not commit all 5 heroes to secure your Ancients, but you just had to, and Quincy crew just have Medusa farming while that's going on. Ryoya could be in some trouble.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It was a mercy killing.
Very close. I mean, Quincy made that jump there. I was expecting just a Yule's Remnant set up on the puck, but they managed to get the lockdown even without the Yule setup there. Quinn just placing the Remnant nicely with the roll setup, and now they're going to follow up with a tier 1 tower. Black and Yellow overall did a good job keeping these tier 1 towers alive for a long time, playing against the Nature's Prophet, but this mid game is going to get really tough. Puck is going to need an answer to the Orchid. As fight brewing mid. Got the Atos.
You had no place.
Oh, get more.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, great move to catch the Void Spray. That's the one thing, yeah, Void Spray, if he gets caught in those roots, you can't really defensively Yules against Pit of Malice, because you're just going to come right back down and get rooted again. So a tier 1 tower being claimed. This is, you know, a small step towards having a bit more pressure on the Medusa's farm if you can get in there, get some vision around that dire triangle, but I imagine Quincy's still feeling like they're in a pretty okay spot here. Medusa's yet to get involved, as you'd kind of expect. You don't want Medusa coming to these fights until she's got 2 items usually, but Black and Yellow are, you know, they're on pace to make this game very competitive.
Yep.
Smoke up. Yeah. Jubei may just have to throw away his life here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
Just gotta be careful. Oh?
the entirety of your existence.
I think he had, after the silence, he had the jaunt to his orb if he wanted to. I think he was just like, felt like he had a window to TP out there. So he didn't go for the jaunt, then TP. And as a result, yeah, he gets picked off. That's back-to-back kills, and Quincy crew able to utilize those pickoffs to keep this bottom and mid lane pushed out very deep. And this Jug is under a lot of pressure as a result.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's where that puck kill makes a big economic difference. Especially in a game like this where Quincy crew's not like trying to play super fast tempo. They're happy to play this kind of slower farm-based game with the Medusa, so pressure's on Black and Yellow to make these plays work. Okay. pretty tanky still, luckily. Ryoya bottom gets orchided up. Still working on his Yule Scepter. It looks like he will keep himself alive. But like you say, it's still scary for him.
Shadows, take us.
Here comes the smoke gank.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. They did deal with the creeps bottom lane, and Ryoya's going to grab another creep wave. So this could keep this tier 2 bottom tower alive, it looks like. Really good disengage from Quincy crew there, because I love that. That smoke from Black and Yellow was perfect. It completely caught them by surprise, but the vision from Quincy with the Observer plus Sentry. So they scouted them out in the Moonlight Shadow the second the smoke wore off and just disengaged, forced Black and Yellow to chase a little bit too far. Once they missed the arrow, that's when the turnaround happened. They were like, okay, they missed the arrow and we positioned perfectly. Medusa's in the front lines. They can't get past her because of Stone Gaze. Now we can basically find some pickoffs here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Understanding.
Not another step.
Yeah. It's very much, it's such a kind of fun 1v1 mid, because, just throughout the game, because of the fact they both counter each other. Yeah. This has been kind of classic Quincy crew Dota. They just kind of flip a switch in the mid game, find pickoffs all over the map. Black and Yellow played a really solid laning stage. They were only down by a couple thousand gold, maybe 15, 16 minutes in, but Quincy have since then just been able to pick and choose much better fights, utilize their item timings like this, Nature's Prophet Orchid, incredibly well, not to mention Quinn with the Yules and Aghanim Scepter now, making it so hard for so many heroes like Mirana, Puck. They all rely on these escape spells.
There will be another time to fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, this Medusa closing in on a Daedalus plus level 20 has ample damage to deal with Roshan, and until they get a Blink Dagger on this Enigma, it feels like Jubei's ability to find a black hole, like we mentioned, like, yeah, all he has to do maybe is black hole one core, but when Quincy's grouping up, he's not going to have a black hole opening without a blink, and even with a blink, I feel like it's going to be incredibly hard to get a black hole off because there's so many ways to cancel it.
Nature's wrath.
Who spoiled that shot?
Yeah. Very, very tough puck game playing against the Void Spirit. Once that Void Spirit got some momentum, this game just quickly got a bit out of hand. They can still delay, and that's going to be kind of the game plan here for Black and Yellow, but they're going to be in the position Quincy crew was last game, where it just feels like you're getting further and further behind while you give up map control.
This isn't over.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Bounty. Earth's bounty. The seeds of fortune. Bounty.
Yep. And yeah, this Medusa poking high ground with Aegis, Daedalus, it feels like nobody can really get in close. And even if she gets Black Hole, if you can't cancel it, it just doesn't feel like she's going to die anyway. So We'll see what black and yellow do. They need to find a way to get on the back lines, as is often the case when you've got this tanky frontlining Medusa, Timbersaw type hero. And they don't have the best heroes to do that with, it feels like. Especially Puck playing without a Blink Dagger makes this very hard. Yep. They're gonna have to... Yeah, they're gonna have to keep cutting waves, trying to delay the push by having Puck get waves behind the push, but... I mean, we've seen Ryoya die, you mentioned, 0, 6, and 3. He's having a rough one after doing so well last game, but he's not gonna really want to try and split push and cut waves because of that constant threat of him dying. That's the good news, I guess. Jug, there's no answer to the spin TP, so he can always cut waves and split push as long as he gets the spin off. He is unkillable during a spin TP. That's true. I don't think anyone's right-click. I don't think Medusa's ever going to go chase a Jugger on the map to deal with the split push. I mean, theoretically, she's got Stone Gaze to deal with a spin TP, but yeah, they don't have the damage to right-click him down. It's getting slow. Yeah, it's okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, the kiting potential is there. We'll be going for that Ag Swift slash play as well, which I like. You can just force out a lot of defensive spells and items whenever you use a Swift slash. Flee. He's a human ward on this Mirana. Yeah. And now Flea's caught.
I'll never bow.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He's in deep. Okay.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under
Yeah.
attack.
They just bully that Enigma back to his fountain and then just kill him with the Death Ward there. Really good job splitting the Omni Slash damage and somehow microing heroes back so that the Omni Slash went all the way back to the racks, and Quincy get bottom lane and they're looking for a second lane of racks. No real answer for YawaR's Medusa at this point. He is just this unkillable high ground teaching machine.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah. It's a cool shard. I like it a lot. It's definitely one of, I think, the underrated ones.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Plans to cinder.
Jubei's looking for a haul.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Found it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they did a really good job. The only reason they grouped for that 4-man black hole is because they basically committed to kill the